Hello, and welcome to the Quimbee Continuing Legal Education course, Immigration Pathways from Studies to Employment, progressing from student visa categories to employment-based categories. My name is Matthew Blaisdell, and I'm a general immigration practitioner in Brooklyn, New York, whose practice includes troubleshooting with international students, as well as advising and representing them in regards to employment-based options. Today's goals are threefold. We're going to find out what employment-based options are out there, learn how to identify the options that best apply to a particular student, and anticipate potential problems, including issues related to CVIS registration, backlogs, dual intent, and consular processing, among others. First, let's step back and take a look at the big picture at the broad categories of employment-based visas. But first, a word on terminology. NIV, non-immigrant visas, means temporary visas, whereas IV, immigrant visas, refer to green cards. We'll also spend a bit more time on the topic of H1B visas, as that's the one you'll probably get asked the most about, and then touch on the rest, as well as identify student visa-related issues that you'll need to know about as well. Then, we'll hit the employment-based pathways to a green card, including labor certification, and the categories that do not include labor cert, such as Schedule A, Groups 1 and 2, and National Interest Waiver and self-petitions. We'll talk a little bit about processes and strategies, including consular processing versus adjustment of status, and go a bit more into detail in those if we have time. But if not, we will reserve those slides for the end of the program. So if we don't get to them within the hour, the content is there for you to peruse. So what is the H1B visa? That is for specialty occupations, which is generally referred to as a specialized bachelor's degree for a specialized field, and you're coming here to do that thing. Of course, the statutory and regulatory definition is a bit more specific, which is the theoretical and practical application of a body of highly specialized knowledge in the attainment of a bachelor's or higher degree in this specific position or its equivalent as a minimum for entry into the occupation in the U.S. And you must have achieved the bachelor's and come to the U.S. to perform a job requiring such in the similar field as the degree. So you're coming here to do the thing that you have the bachelor's for in a specialized field. Now, the degree requirement is crucial to the definition of specialty occupation, whether your client fits that, in which 1 year of a bachelor's degree can be substituted for 3 years of experience. Or, as it says in the statute and regulation, you can substitute 3 years of professional level experience for 1 year of academic training in the specialty occupation, aka the 3-for-1 rule. Now, what counts as the foreign equivalent of a bachelor's degree could be the topic of an entire sub-training. So for now, just note that in each case, you'll have to engage in that analysis of whether the foreign national's foreign bachelor's degree is the equivalent of a U.S. bachelor's degree. So that's the broadest definition. So now that we've defined specialty occupation in the broad sense, what are the benefits? Why do your clients want this visa? Well, for one, they can get up to 6 years in H1B time, possibly more if they've spent some of that time outside the United States, or if they have a pending green card application. We'll touch on both of those situations a bit later. But other benefits include the fact that this can be part-time. They can have multiple employers, several at the same time, and they can switch between employers, so it's very flexible. It is also considered dual intent, so it's one of the very few temporary employment-based visas in which you can say, I'm also going for a green card at the same time as I'm here on a temporary work visa. For most of these options we're going to explore, you cannot do that. Drawbacks, however, include the fact that it's difficult to get, not just for difficulties in fitting the specialty occupation definition, but also because demand far outstrips the supply. There's a hard cap on the number of these that are available in each fiscal year, leading the government to basically auction them off in a kind of lottery. So people subscribe to the lottery, and recently probably less than 1 out of 3 are actually getting picked, and those are the only people who get to apply. Not every H-1B applicant is subject to this lottery. We'll discuss those in a minute, but most of them are. However, Chile and Singapore, foreign nationals from those countries, are able to get around this. And that is through what is called the H-1B visa. Slightly different. We'll touch on that as well.